Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be profiling an update to my ABC deck. Now this is a deck that I haven't touched since pretty much the Ishizu cards came out. Obviously the Ishizus plus the Bestials have really invalidated a deck like ABC, and certainly the Bestials will still give you a rough time, so that would be something to consider if playing this deck. But I mean, at a local level, you would hope to be able to still see at least a little bit of success with this, especially game one. I mean, game one, the Bestials are going to be a lot less prevalent, and then would have to, I guess, establish a side deck that is ready to kind of counter the Bestials as well. I've got a couple of ideas, but nothing that's actually really going to be in this video. But I can kind of just talk about them. So I guess one kind of theory would be that, I guess in game two, or three, you could try and play a going second variant of the deck where you aim to OTK. Obviously the main OTK in ABC is typically facilitated by something like Access Code and Buster, because that's over 8,000. But we are playing other kind of boss monsters that you could theoretically arrive at. So for example, Access Code plus Theory on Regulus, and we're just going to use the pieces to kind of link climb without actually being able to establish Buster, because we're presuming that a Bestial might happen. But that's an idea for another day. I just want to get into the deck profile and show off some combos, because of course Ancient Fairy Dragon is legal, and this deck I think is one of the decks that really appreciates Ancient Fairy being back in the format. But we are on 2 of each piece. I have discovered this kind of really cool combo that involves just a piece and one of our tuner extenders, which is really cool. So there's an argument for the third B, but at the moment I've just got 2 of each. The deck is 41, and I don't know, I'm not necessarily sold on the ratios, but yeah, the 42nd card I suppose could be a B, or you'd have to make a cut somewhere. And if you can tell me where I'd make a cut for that third B, it's an idea. But at the moment I'm just going with 2, 2, and 2. Obviously the one driver, you kind of have to play it. And then for the rest of the Union support, we're just on the 3 hanger, 1 terraforming, and 1 set rotation. So at the moment I'm not playing unauthorized, and that's because we definitely had to make space for some other extenders and things. So yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, unauthorized is certainly something that you could potentially side deck, but I mean, it's good. It's kind of like Called by the Grave in that you can put one of these on a, it's got to be a light machine, but yeah, I don't know. You need to open it. The tricky thing is you have to open piece plus unauthorized to be able to play, and I don't really want to play the pieces. The pieces are bricks, so having just the 6, I don't feel like, I mean, you could maybe justify like 2 unauthorized reactivation, but at the moment I'm not playing with any, and I haven't really had issues with consistency yet. But obviously more testing would kind of make that more clear. But we're obviously on 2 Regulus and 2 Disc Coliseum. Ultimately we want to see field spells. Seeing a field spell in the hand is not bad at all, especially if you can get to Ancient Fairy Dragon. Obviously the preferred route is Union Hanger first, and then pop Union Hanger to search Disc Coliseum instead of Regulus. If you can get access to a piece or hanger plus your tuner extenders, then you play around Nibiru with no worries and you set up a really cool board. So we're playing 2 and 2. Obviously they can kind of grind with each other. The field spells can kind of rotate the Reguluses around. And then for my tuner extenders, I think the most obvious fit at the moment has to be the punks. The punks are crazy. So what we want to see is 3 E-Telly or 3 Foxy. So one of either of these means that we are playing the game really well, especially if opened alongside hanger. E-Telly is the preferred choice alongside the hanger. It means that the combo is pretty crazy. That's like the fullest of full combo, I suppose you could go in this deck, is E-Telly plus hanger. But piece plus any of these certainly has really cool lines as well. Then the rest of the punks that I'm playing are a Deer Note, a Xiamen, and then the one that actually, it was just a very last minute kind of discovery. Just before I went to record, I kind of had this brainwave that Wagon into Field Spell is really good, because if you go E-Telly into Wagon and Wagon search Field Spell, normal summon any piece, that gives you Ancient Fairy with a Field Spell to pop, and that is crazy. I can't believe it took me too long to realize. I was staring at the Madam Spider and the Trap for so long, and I just hated playing them because they were essentially bricks. And these actually are still bricks. I'll be honest, they certainly do not really help the consistency, but I feel like it makes the P.U.N.K engine so much more worth it. Being able to go Peace plus E-Telly or Peace plus Foxy Tune to make a combo is really good. So definitely necessary. Certainly you side it out game 2, game 3, especially if you're doing a blind second kind of thing, or just always going to go second. But definitely necessary to play combos going first. I think this is really crazy. But typically, I mean, if you're opening E-Telly and Hanger, you don't really worry about these. You're just doing the standard P.U.N.K engine of the old days, where it'd be just E-Telly into Xiamen, Search Foxy, Deer Note, and then yeah, you just get heaps of advantage that way. So I'll show it in the combo as well. Then the last kind of engine of the deck is 3 Prosperity, because we want to see Hanger. And Prosperity just lets us dig for that, or the E-Telly, or whatever it is that we're missing. And there's so much of the extra deck that you don't mind banishing, you don't need to worry about it. Then we only have space for 12 hand traps. Now typically ABC is a deck that could generally fit more in. We've got 3 Nib, 3 Ash, 1 Ogre. Ogre is searchable off the P.U.N.K Synchro. It's also summonable off E-Telly, so there's some use for it. The 2 talents just to round out that kind of little set of 3, and then Imperm. This is not necessarily a set in stone ratio. This is obviously format dependent and whatever hand traps we all end up playing, or board breakers, or whatever it is. But yeah, we've got space for 12. So these are the 12 I've kind of selected. I mean, if you know, Ash is great versus Brand Fusion. Nib is pretty good against a lot of the meta as well. Yeah, so these are the 12, but these are obviously just not necessarily set in stone. And the extra deck is also, there's definitely some moving parts in the extra deck that don't need to be run. So you could certainly make more space for tech choices as well. Currently on 3 Buster. I mean, this might not even be necessary, maybe just 2. Doesn't sound good to say, but ultimately you're not really trying to summon 3. Ideally you just summon 2, 1 on turn 1, 1 on turn 3, and then win. But the third obviously would come up in a grind game, so it's there. You're gonna have to excuse my Satellite Warrior here, but this is Baron de Fleur. Again, the P.U.N.Ks just allow you to summon this all the time. So summoning this after Ancient Fairy Dragon is super easy to do. Lots of hands do it. Yeah, so this is Baron, it's not Satellite. Then these 2 slots are fairly flexible. I think we're always playing a Synchro 8. I've gone with Dragon Drive just because it results in an interruption. But I guess it's in the case where if you open E-Telly specifically and nothing else, you can do some things. And then this, I don't know. I'm playing this at the moment just because it feels weird not to kind of include a rank 8 with the P.U.N.K engine, and the fact that it's got the added flexibility in that it searches Ethereum cards, but it's probably not necessary. This could be something else. I did want to have a payoff for like the P.U.N.K engine if we were playing it. So obviously the P.U.N.Ks can end you in a Synchro 11 or a rank 8 all the time. So I've gone with this. It doesn't add power. So if we're opening E-Telly and only E-Telly, we're searching Ghost Ogre and then getting Therion. But if we can't get this off the field, I mean, we're just searching Disc Coliseum into Regulus, which isn't actually playable unless you have specifically, you know, Foxy tuned away a piece. But if you're Foxy tuning away a piece, then you've got combo anyway. So this, we probably don't need it, as weird as that sounds, but at the moment it's there. It's representative of a flex spot though, certainly. Links, we've got a lot of just the classic ABC links, Goddess, Appaloosa, Access Code, Unicorn, Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, IP, and then Platinum Gadget. So that's the extra deck. I think the links are all fine. I think this is all fine. It's just these 2. They're kind of our flex spots. Obviously we don't have to play all the Nightmares, There's certainly more links or other links you could play, but that's just what I've got for now. I'll show you a couple of combos and then just do some rapid fire testing. Okay, so I'll show you this combo first. This is kind of the high ceiling combo. Obviously, if you've got other things in your hand, then you could potentially go further, but this is as far as we really need to go. I think the board is really strong. This deck does kind of have a hard time against Dark Ruler, so that's another thing to consider in the side deck, which is another reason why I thought, blinding second could be, again, it's not blinding second, but choosing to go second post all the side decking is potentially an option that you have. But I'll run you through the combo. These are just obviously going to be discards or just spare cards. So we'll start off with Hanger. We're going to use Hanger to grab B. All right, and then we're going to normal the B, or we can E-telly just to kind of ensure that we're kind of playing around gamma. Not playing, just pretend that we have gamma, I suppose. We're going to go for Xiamen. We'll use Xiamen's effect. I'm going to grab the Foxy Tune. Now we can normal summon the B. We're going to trigger Hanger, and we're going to do just the classic Hanger play of Driver, Banish, grab C specifically here. C is important, and Special C. So from here, we're obviously on 3 summons. We're going to go B and Xiamen into Ancient Fairy Dragon. B is going to search to grab A, and we're going to use Ancient Fairy Dragon to destroy Union Hanger. Grab the Discoliseum, and now we're going to activate the Discoliseum, and we're going to grab our Regulus, which we can summon now, and that's summon number 5. So we are good against Nibiru. We equip B, and we can summon the B. So from here, we will go C and B. We can go for Platinum Gadget, and we're going to trigger both B and C. We're going to search. Now, what we search here, so we'll go B1, C2. We'll summon the A out of hand. We're always doing that. And then B here is going to search any piece that you want to be protected against on Buster. So whatever you kind of want protection against, you can search here. So obviously Monster Spell Trap, we'll grab Spell. Let's pretend like we're fearing a Dark Ruler, I don't know. But in this case, it doesn't matter at all. Platinum Gadget can summon it from the hand. We actually don't really end up using this special at all too, so that's another thing to consider. If you have other cards, you could special summon more bodies. And then from here, what we are going to, actually, sorry, I've made a mistake. This B, we're going to put him over here. This zone needs to be free because we're going to summon IP Masquerena here. We'll go Foxy. Foxy can pitch the Imperm. And obviously, if you want to keep hand advantage, you could actually keep the B, not use Platinum Gadget. I mean, this could then just be IP now. And then, I'm getting ahead of myself, but instead of doing IP here, what you could do is, you can make IP here, and then use the bodies we're about to use to make the IP here into just Appaloosa up the top. But we'll go IP. I mean, at the end of the day, it all loses to the same 1 negation on like an Imperm. So, yeah, it's just something to consider. But I like having the flexibility of being able to IP into, Unicorn or Goddess, for example, as well, having other options. But we've used the Foxy. Foxy is going to summon Deer. And then we're going to Deer plus A. We'll go Deer plus A into IP. We're not going to trigger A here, but we are going to trigger Deer. Deer is going to bring back Xiamen. We can now go Xiamen plus the... No, sorry. I've realized my mistake. We are going to use Ancient Fairy, and we're going to summon the B here. There we go. Because we had to summon to Platinum Gadget Zone, we locked it up with our card. We probably could have played around that without needing to use this at all and have this as more of a contingency. But anyway, that was my bad. We're summoning B off of Ancient Fairy Dragon. There we go. And now we can go Xiamen plus the Ancient Fairy Dragon into our pretend Baron de Fleur. And then we can summon Buster. We've got A, B, and C engrave. There's Buster, and we can equip B to it. And so there is our end board. Depending on what we want to do, we can shotgun IP into Appaloosa fairly quickly on our opponent's turn, or we have to wait until after Regulus, because Regulus will have to send itself to then free up zones for Buster. So there's a few ways around it. We've got 2 cards left in hand. One could be a discard. If we didn't want to do the B thing here, we could have had a 3rd card in hand as a discard. Maybe game 1 you do this if you're not fearing something like a Dark Ruler, but definitely game 2 having just something so that you can still tag out Buster, because even if they Dark Ruler your board, yes, the B stops Dark Ruler on Buster, so you've still got this banish, but also you get access to the tag out, because you can still pay a cost with something like Regulus and get it off the field. But being able to tag out Buster is crucial for your grind game. But that's the kind of high ceiling combo. And then I'll show the just piece plus tuner extender. Okay, so this is the low ceiling combo. This is just piece plus Foxy Tune, which is kind of the most unideal of like combos, but still it ends in a board, which is really good. So what we're going to do is we'll go Foxy, discard a card, and we're going to summon the Wagon. Now, if this was E-Telly, not Foxy, the board actually just gets significantly better. But we're going to go Wagon for Extreme Session. Now we can normal the A, activate the Extreme Session, and we can Synchro for the Ancient Fairy Dragon. So the A can be any piece. Ancient Fairy Dragon is going to pop Field Spell, grab Hanger, activate Hanger, search B, and Ancient Fairy can now special B, triggering Hanger, do the driver play, so driver, banish, C, special. These 2 will become IP Masquerena. There it is. And we'll banish ABC for Buster. So, not an ideal hand, but definitely good that there's now plays that can be made. Pretty much the big difference if you open E-Telly instead of Foxy is you can go E-Telly for Xiamen, Xiamen search Foxy, Foxy summon Wagon, get the field spell, then normal summon. It pretty much just means you then turn this into a Baron. That's the big difference, that you actually get the Baron out of it with the E-Telly instead. So same combo line essentially, except you'll have that 1 extra 3 at the end to make Baron. Yeah, or you can do Baron before doing a lot of these things over here, which means you don't play. I still don't think you play Random Biru. But anyway, that's this combo here. I'll just shoot through some test hands really quick, and then call it. Okay, so just some test hands. We're just going to really look to see that we've got kind of a mixture of engine, non-engine, and if it's kind of playable. So we've got B, Regulus, Set Rotation, Union Hanger, and Xiamen. So the unfortunate part of this is if we're going second, we're in for a hard time, but yeah, certainly we have combo there. Interesting though, we didn't actually have the, oh, actually that probably was, I mean, that might have been interesting to play out actually, because we had the Regulus in hand too. So what we could, I was just thinking we didn't have access to the Synchro line, but if we normal Xiamen and then go for Foxy, pitch the B out of hand, Regulus can bring it back, and then we can actually play the game from there. So actually that would have been a really nice combo. Oh, this is already nice. Hanger is always good. Foxy, there we go. Terraforming, Union Driver, and Regulus. And just with that, our hand has gone from great to awful. The driver is... Nope, again, we can make this work. Now, no non-engine, which is a problem, but what we can do here is I'm just thinking, can we use this? It's tricky. No, I don't think we can actually do that though. I was thinking we've got Foxy, Pitch Driver, Regulus can bring it back, but it can only once per turn summon and equip, and we can't actually tag out Driver onto the Regulus there. So no, it's problematic there, that hand for sure. We could have tried playing it out and see where we would have gone, but seeing Driver is just a problem. But still, the lack of going second cards is not ideal. Hanger, Discoliseum, a Prosperity. Again, there's no going second cards here. But yes, we do have combo. Not with the Synchro line, but Prosperity could potentially get us there. But we definitely have just the standard ABC Regulus plays of old. We're not really needing Ancient Fairy in that situation because we have already access to Regulus. Well, there's Nibiru and there's Impurple. They're the best two. Let's see if we can open Engine alongside it. Prosperity, Ziam, and Discoliseum. All right, well, we'll play this one out. We'll just see if Prosperity would hit. So we'll be Prosperitying. We'll probably actually go Discoliseum first, just to get that card another card out of the deck. Obviously, we have normal summon Ziaman as a potential play because we now have access to Regulus. So we'll just see what we hit off Prosperity. So let's go for 6. I won't banish the cards, but we'll just reveal 6. Oh, there you go, set rotation. E-Telly, Hanger. Yeah, we're happy days with this. Yeah, so we definitely have lines of play here. Kind of as I mentioned before, it'd be normal summon Ziaman, search Foxy, Hanger for a piece, pitch it with Foxy, bring it back with Regulus, and then we've got Ancient Fairy. We don't even need Ancient Fairy in that case, so we could just use Ancient Fairy to kind of step up into no, we wouldn't be able to step up into the Baron, but yeah, we still definitely had lines of play there that we could have used by having Foxy as a discard outlet. Ash, Discoliseum, Nibiru, Extreme Session, and Ghost Ogre. So, I mean, this is going to be the problem with playing cards like this, is that obviously you see them in your hand sometimes, but 3 hand traps is okay, but the rest of it, I mean, if we're going second, maybe we drew into Hanger there, but not as ideal. Yeah, this deck is certainly not one you're going to be taking to a YCS or anything like that, but for fun at locals, you could definitely play some of this. Okay, this hand's pretty solid. We do have Nibiru with the going second card. Depending on the matchup, this could be great, could be not great, but this is definitely representative of combo. Like I said, Peace plus E-Telly it's the Baron, it's the Buster, it's the IP, and then Prosperity potentially dig for another hand trap if we're going first, or one of the field spells there. Even grabbing like this, getting Discoliseum there to have that extra interruption with Regulus. It's really nice. Ash, Hanger, Regulus, E-Telly, and Tactics. So there you go. This is as good as it gets. You've got the 3 like perfect engine cards. So this is the fullest of combo with Talents and Ash as kind of some going second disruptive cards there. But we'll stop there. Definitely a deck that I want to kind of play test a lot more and just kind of really iron out the ratios and get things perfect. But like it's one of my favorite decks. So the fact that now we've got the Ishizu Shufflers out of the format and the Bystial's kind of taking a backseat, definitely a chance for some of these decks to at least play the game on a local level. Which if your locals had, any amount of tier, it was just not worth it. So yeah, that's the deck and hope you enjoy it.